Time is 6 p.m., April 16th, 2024. I call to order this regular meeting of the Oconee County Council. We will begin with a moment of silence. Okay, Mr. David Root, would you lead us in prayer?
Yes, sir. Please pray with me if you'd like to. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you made. Thank you for the lives that you have given us. Thank you for the air that you provide for us to breathe and everything in between. Our lives, everything is dependent on you. Help us to remember that. And likewise, this meeting and its fluidity and it going well is dependent upon you. So we ask for your help. We ask for your guidance for council and staff, that this would be a good meeting, that the benefits would flow to the citizens of this county, that you'd give clarity, enthusiasm, and endurance as we work through this budget, through this new fiscal year. Just pray for your guidance, and thank you for all of your faithfulness. In your name I pray, amen.
Amen. Chief Crime, would you lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need approval of April 2nd, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
Second, any changes or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
That's 4-0.
Next, we have county attorney comments. Mr. David Root.
I do not have any, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Root. Next, Ms. Brock, county administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of council. I do have one thing this evening to notify council and members of the public that Oconee County has enacted emergency procurement measurements regarding the access control area doors in communications in the downstairs division of the Oconee County Sheriff's Office. Last week, we were notified that 2 doors were completely out of order, rendering them useless to the downstairs portion of the building where sensitive information and documents are held, as well as the communications office itself. Oconee County enacted an emergency purchases policy per our ordinance, and the procurement item agenda is placed here on my desk for ratification information for council purposes. I've never done an emergency procedure before, so bear with me. There is no county funding involved in the repair purchase. No county funding. There is a one-time allocation from the South Carolina Department of Public Safety. The amount was $164,817.92. The company is Evolve Technologies, Inc., and they are hereby working on the repair and replacement of all control door switches in the communications and sensitive areas in the downstairs location at the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Ms. Brock.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next we have a proclamation that's honoring Mr. Timothy Hopkins, Equipment Operator 4, upon his retirement. Whereas Mr. Timothy Hopkins, a resident of Walhalla, South Carolina, began working as a full-time Oconee County employee on July 10th, 1995, and whereas over the years, Mr. Hopkins served as an equipment operator for the Roads and Bridges Department while serving for 32 years, including 5 deployments over his years of service in the Army National Guard. And whereas Mr. Hopkins has a wonderful family whose love and support have been instrumental in allowing all the years of service to the county and his country, with many friends and colleagues considering Mr. Hopkins' family rather than a co-worker. And whereas Mr. Hopkins has distinguished himself as a hard worker and excellent operator who operated many different pieces of equipment over the years and helped complete many larger projects. And whereas skilled, knowledgeable, and focused, Mr. Hopkins was a vital member of the Oconee County Roads and Bridges team, and whereas after nearly 27 years of service to the citizens of Oconee County, Mr. Hopkins retired on December 31st, 2022. Now therefore, we, the Oconee County Council, do hereby recognize and express our sincere gratitude for Mr. Hopkins' dedication and commitment to the county and congratulate him on the occasion of his retirement. Have a motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Well, they might have
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Congratulations.
Okay, now we have public comment session. As a reminder, you have 5 minutes to speak. When you approach 4 minutes, I will hold up the yellow 1-minute warning sign, and at 5 minutes, I'll hold up the red stop sign.
Bonnie Lanier.
Hi, my name's Bonnie. And I just wanted to ask you to please keep Oconee beautiful. I'd like to express my concerns with all the new housing developments being built in Oconee County. There's not enough support services as it is. Teachers, police officers, firefighters, healthcare workers, for those of us who already live here. And having been in HR before I retired, I know how hard it is to hire people that really want to work. So, and this is my first time doing this, so excuse my nerves. Schools will be overcrowded, and the teachers have enough to do without increasing the class size. My daughter's a teacher, and she has really appreciated having a smaller class size this year. She doesn't teach in Oconee County, but it really makes a difference when you have 28 second graders in one classroom. So we all know that they don't make enough already for all that they do for our children. And hiring new teachers is extremely difficult. Traffic is already way too congested. Our roads are torn up. And they're not big enough for the traffic that we have. I've never seen traffic in Oconee County like it is now. Even in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, you're out driving. I got used to that driving home from work, whatever, but not in the middle of the day. This is also destroying our habitats for our local wildlife. So requests for zoning require 51% of property owners in the area to approve, to sign a petition, something like that. And I would love to know if those living near those huge construction sites really approved them. And I'm talking specifically about the one near the new middle school on the Beltline, and the other one on the Beltline across from Grace Baptist Church. They're both on the Beltline. So I've spent a lot of time on your website looking at all the documents, trying to figure it out. not being that smart of a person, it's very difficult to understand a lot of things. But one thing I did understand, and that was your mission and your vision as our county council. And you all probably know it, but maybe many people here don't know it. It is the mission of Oconee County to provide our current and future citizens and visitors quality services while protecting our communities, heritage, environment, and natural resources in an ever-changing world. The vision, Oconee County, a diverse, growing, safe, vibrant community guided by rural traditions. I think that's the important part. And shaped by natural beauty, where employment, education, and it just disappeared. Okay, there it is. And recreation offer a rich quality of life for all generations, both today and tomorrow. So I beg you please to not approve any more new housing developments. And you, as county council, are not required to grant any more new requests. Our children depend on you to protect Oconee County and maintain its beauty. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lynn Martin. Martin.
Hello, and thank y'all for having our public comment time. And I'm going to bring up the same thing I brought a little bit, my last visit. The news, WSBA, Pickens County Council has imposed a 6-month moratorium on applications to build new multifamily residential developments, including townhomes, apartments, RV parks, and tiny homes. We want to pump the brakes on growth because we're growing exponentially, Roy Coster, Vice Chairman of Pickens County Council, said. But I did pull that from WSPA. So Pickens County already sees they can see what is going on in their county. Even I was reading the Blue Ridge Electric editorial in the monthly magazine that they put out. So if you can go there to that source, they have seen such a rapid growth in development and the need for electricity, they can't keep up either. Another red light. When you go into a town and you see red lights, or first you see yellow lights. Well, I think our yellow lights are already passed, and I think that we need to progress to red lights. I know we have a planning committee, and I know that we have plans out there, but plans can become antiquated, absolutely outdated from what we thought we needed 5 years ago to what we need today and what we see going on. When we see that there's a problem, there needs to be a stop sign and say, we need to stop, back up, and figure out what's going on to protect our county, what we love here. I think we're here because we love this county. We love where we live, that we're all in for it, and we want y'all all in for it and to protect it. Now, granted, I am a conservationist, and I want to see every tree that can be kept. When I look at these subdivisions and you do not see a tree, what is wrong with those people? Who wants to live there? I'm like, who would even buy a place there? I would not want to live there. I don't want my children to live there. When you look at even other countries, what we need to look at is those are mistakes. Mistakes that we do not have to create right here in our own county because we see these lights. We hear new residents come and saying, don't y'all know what you have? We're coming here because this is the last of what we're seeing, what we have. And I implore you to please protect it. We need to keep what we have. That's the main thing I want to tell you. If we want to pour money into something, let's pour money into tourism for our farms. We promote local, let's promote the local food grown here, the local hard-working farmers, the farmland. Let's see about putting our tourism dollars to that and stop the green light. Come to Oconee. Come to Oconee. Live here in Oconee. And so let's put our money where it belongs, right here in Oconee. Thank you.
Eddie Martin.
Eddie Martin, I'm here to once again speak on the overdevelopment of Oconee County. I will second everything the first two speakers have said. It is beauty that people love about Oconee. You know, we are blessed here with our lakes, with our mountains, with our open space. But if we don't do something to curb the things that are happening around us at this point, we will no longer have those things. Are we to push the perimeters of our towns and our communities all the way to the borders of our lakes, to the borders of our mountains, until there's nothing left anywhere that's good and wonderful about Oconee? I think that the dollar sign has become the beauty symbol of Oconee, especially to the out-of-state developers. I know that there are hardworking people here that build houses and develop property and do the things they need to do to help sustain the community. But when people come in from out of state with pockets full of funds to just access everything that they can get their hands on and destroy it, we are doing the wrong thing by allowing that. If there's any way possible that we can put a slowdown or a stop on that, that's what we need to do. They come here, they set up, and I think they should be responsible for their detriment. The detrimental actions to traffic, to police security, to water quality, to high-density housing is not a benefit. It is the root of the problems to come. So I'm going to bring up a bad word here in some circles. It's moratorium. It's already been mentioned one time tonight, but I think we need to take a step back to take a step forward in sustainable thinking, sustainable development, and to try to keep Oconee the best place that there is to live without destroying it. I've got one more comment here. My son was coming home. He pulled in the driveway. There was a car there. He kind of got behind the car, pushed it all the way up to the house. Our driveway's 3/8 of a mile long. Gets out. The individual asked, "Are you Mr. Martin?" He said, "I'm one of them." He said, "You live here?" "Yes, I do." He said, "Well, I'm prepared to make you," now this is my son, he's 22 years old. "I'm prepared to make you a cash offer right now for this property." Now, how did he know where we were? Why is he looking to come to my house to try to buy my property? And he was from Georgia. We need to do something about this.
Kathy R.
Well, I'm talking about something else. I live over in Utica, right up the street from the mill. And since I've been there, I've been horrified to know that there's something called the compound where human beings were living in a homeless and drug-induced state with bare minimum, in filth, with dogs on short chains, under piles of metal things that they would just bring back from wherever, and they called that home for these animals. I finally got the nerve up to drive by it one day, and I just couldn't believe it existed. So a man named Philly, don't know his last name, finally got put in jail with 11 counts of animal neglect, served 30 days. He's gotten out, I guess, 6 or 7 months ago. He is wasted no time in reestablishing this hellhole for animals and for human beings. Right up the street from where I live on East James Street. A burned out property, a burned out home that I understand belongs to a 92-year-old lady who is in a nursing home in Easley. And because she doesn't have the wherewithal to file an eviction, he is living there. And he now has 7 or 8 more dogs, puppies in crates. He, for some reason, has a thing for turtles, and he gets them out of the woods, and he puts them in some kind of container. Which is He's been there, I guess, 7 or 8 months. He evidently is going around bragging that he has an an AR-15 at that property. There's definitely talk of drug sales everywhere this man has ever gone. Obviously, from reading the Code of Ordinances for Animals, Chapter 4, regarding how they are to be kept, there are a lot of problems with the way they're being kept. They have puppies on what I would call towing chains, short tethers. There was a dog that got loose that attacked another dog last Friday and just mauled it. That dog was chained on a very short chain. I've got some pictures here. There's also a story of a Labrador, 2 Labradors that ended up over there. And somebody shot one for, quote, humping a pit bull that was in heat, who was not secure inside a home as these rules say they must be. Killed that dog, and I guess bullets coming from that effort hit his brother, and that brother has bullet holes in him. Someone, a neighbor, offered a lawnmower in return for that dog. And that dog went home with that person, and that dog has been cared for, and that dog has got bullet holes in him, and I've got a picture of that. So here's a picture that I got. This is all blood. This is a bit bad copy. But the poor animal, I said Friday, I'm just going to go out there and get it. I have tried to color within the lines of even what people tell me is a dangerous environment. There are men and women living there in this house that's 3/4 burned. I'm not dying to see them thrown out into the cold, but I am dying to see some God-feltness come into the situation and help these homeless people not be caught up in something like this. I don't think they really want to be there. I think they're scared. They don't have a choice, is what they told me. They have nowhere to go. I'm a big fan of police and all that they do, but animal control, I understand, is short on people to work with them. They've got a couple of officers that are out for a couple of months. They've got a very big area to cover, and they're full. They've got too many animals, I guess, where they are. So I think they need more funding. I think we need to take a good hard look at the picture we want to project to the world. There's so many churches here. This is wrong. This is just wrong, and I feel morally complicit to this going on up the street. Okay, did I do an okay job of conveying the problem?
That's all? Okay, moving forward, we have council member comment.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I started working downtown Clemson in 2012 on College Avenue. At that time, it was a quaint college town. I left work in 2018. 4 apartment complexes. Now there's also a hotel on College Avenue. Not a college town anymore. I used to walk at lunch, Abernathy Park, around Lake Harlan. Last night, the city of Clemson approved the hub, which will destroy that. I saw the traffic go from almost nothing in 6 years to gridlock. Do we really want this to Laconia County?
No.
You're right, we don't. We don't do anything about it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other comments? Miss R, I see I don't know if she left, but Miss Brock, you gave her contact information, correct? Thank you. Okay, next we have first reading of the following ordinances. Ordinance 2024-13. This is an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and special source revenue credit agreement by and between Oconee County, South Carolina, and a company currently identified as Project Cherry, acting for itself, one or more current or future affiliates, and other project companies, collectively company, providing for a fee in lieu of ad valorem tax incentive, providing for a special source revenue credit, creating or modifying a joint county industrial and business park between Oconee County and Pickens County, so as to designate the property of the project as part of such park and other related matters.
So moved.
Second.
Second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have ordinance 2024-14. This is an ordinance to develop a jointly owned and operated industrial/business park in conjunction with Pickens County, South Carolina. Such industrial business park to be geographically located in Pickens County and established pursuant to section 4-1-170 of the Code of Laws of South Carolina, 1976, as amended, to provide for a written agreement with Pickens County to provide for the expenses of the park, the percentage of the revenue application, and the distribution of fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and other matters related thereto.
So moved.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
We have ordinance 2024-15, an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and special source revenue credit agreement by and between Oconee County, South Carolina, and a company currently identified as Project Spark, acting for itself, one or more current or future affiliates, and other project companies, collectively company, providing for a fee in lieu of ad valorem tax incentive, providing for a special source revenue credit, creating or modifying a joint county industrial and business park between Oconee County and Pickens County, so as to designate the property or the project as part of such park and other related matters.
So moved.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Now we have the following resolutions. We have Resolution 2024-07, a resolution authorizing the execution and delivery of a lease agreement between Oconee County, South Carolina, and the United States Department of the Army / Secretary of the Army for the Lake Hartwell Project, lease number DACW 21-1-24-0015.
So moved.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have Resolution 2024-08, a resolution providing preliminary approval pursuant to Title 12, Chapter 44 of the Code of Laws of South Carolina, 1976, as amended for the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and special source revenue credit agreement by and between Oconee County, South Carolina, and a company identified for the time being as Project Spark, acting for itself, one or more current or future affiliates, and other project companies, collectively company, providing for a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes incentive, providing for a special source revenue credit, creating or modifying a joint county industrial or business park agreement between Oconee County and Pickens County, so as to establish or enlarge the park and other related matters.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, second, do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Now we have action items. We have council consideration of appointment of an Oconee County Public Library employee to the local First Steps Partnership Board. Council consideration of subdivision permit fee waiver. Hang on a sec, I skipped ahead, didn't I? Council consideration of appointment of Oconee County Public Library employee to the local First Steps Partnership Board.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
That is 4A.
Next, we have council consideration of subdivision permit fee waiver for the Oconee County Habitat for Humanity. The subdivision application fees total $655. It is staff's recommendation to waive the subdivision review fee for Oconee County Habitat for Humanity.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
That is 4A.
Now we have a request for council's approval for submission of the 2024-2025 Oconee County Opioid Recovery Fund technical proposal to the South Carolina Opioid Recovery Fund Board. And it is staff's recommendation that council approve the Oconee County Opioid Recovery Fund technical proposal based on the recommendations from the Oconee Opioid Response Task Force for submission of the South Carolina Opioid Recovery Fund Board.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah. Who's gonna count the beans on this? I mean, I noticed where his salaries, vehicle transportation, there's gonna be quite a bit of money switching hands and hands in here. I think we need somebody that's gonna be able to keep up with what's going on with this.
Mr. Chairman, may I address that?
Yes,
Mr.
Ms.
Hart,
Brown.
that's a great, and very aware statement. Our grants administrator works very closely with the opioid response coordinator who was here this evening. They're perfectly capable of maintaining the federally required documentation for the adequacy of tracking the funds.
Okay. We didn't vote yet, have we? All in
No, sir.
favor?
That is 4A.
Next, we have a request for council's approval for the submission of the fiscal year 2024 Oconee County Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Implementation Grant to the U.S. Department of Justice Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services Law Enforcement and Mental Health and Wellness Act Program. It is staff's recommendation that council support the submission of the Oconee County Fiscal Year 24 Oconee County Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Implementation Grant to the Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Act.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Now we have a 2024 Caterpillar 973 HRC track loader with landfill package for the Solid Waste Department in the amount of $716,805.94. Procurement was approved by council in fiscal year 2023-2024 budget amendment. The budget is $716,805.94 with a project cost of $716,805.94, leaving a balance of $0. Funding is from the one-time capital fund. It is staff's recommendation that council approve the purchase of the Caterpillar 973 track type loader for Blanchard Machinery Company in Simpsonville, South Carolina, in the amount of $716,805.94 per Sourcewell contract number 011723-CAT.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we have procurement number ITB 23-13. It's compactors and containers for the Solid Waste Department, the amount of $361,119.38. Procurement was approved by council in fiscal year 2023-2024 budget process. Budget was $361,119.38. Project cost $361,119.38 with a balance of $0. The term of this contract is for 1 year with the option to renew for 4 additional one-year periods. Any future purchases that exceeds $50,000 will be brought to council for approval. It is the staff's recommendation that council, 1, approve the award of bid ITB 23-13 to Fleet Genesis of North Carolina Incorporated of Lenore, North Carolina, pricing per price list for all items. Approve the annual preventative maintenance estimate of $34,500 per year contingent upon future approved budgets. Approve the purchase of compactors and containers for fiscal year 23-24 in the amount of $361,119.38. And authorize the county administrator to renew the bid for up to 4 one-year periods, provided the equipment and services are satisfactory and does not exceed future years' approved budget amounts.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to clarify for the public and the benefit of council, the bid top sheet, in my opinion, is a little bit more confusing than I'm used to because of the complexity of what's being purchased. If anyone saw me texting during the meeting, I was texting our solid waste director because finally we are able to announce we have a brown goods compactor unit coming. This has been a long time in the making, so total we are buying nine compactor units, one of which is a brown goods, which is like your furniture and whatnot, compactor unit with the 2 additional containers that go with the brown goods and an additional 4 20-top open yard containers. Just for clarification and benefit of everyone. When I read this sheet, I thought we were buying 8. I texted and said, why are we only buying 8? I thought, so that is just a clarification, just for everyone's information. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brock. All right, all in favor?
Case 4A.
All right, now we have full body scanner with ICI thermal scanning. This is for the detention center in the amount of $214,650. Procurement was not included in the 23-24 budget process. It is a 100% grant funded. The budget is $218,700. Project cost $214,650 with a balance of $4,050.00. This is federal sub-award grant source of funding, SOF CK 19-1904, epidemiology, I don't know if I can say that, and laboratory capacity of prevention and control of emerging infectious diseases. It is staff recommendation that council approve the acceptance of the federal sub-award from SC DHEC in the amount not to exceed $218,700. Approve the purchase of the TEK 84 Intercept body scanner from TEK 84 of Poway, California in the amount of $214,650.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Case 4A.
All right, now we have the purchase of a mobile breathing air trailer system. This is for emergency services. The amount of $200,078.23. Procurement was not included in the 23-24 budget process. It is 90% grant funded. Matching funds were included in the fiscal year 23-24 budget process. Budget $200,078.23. Project cost $200,078.23 with a $0 balance. It is staff's recommendation that council approve the acceptance of the Assistance to Firefighters Grant Award from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in the amount of $181,094.54. Approved grant match in the amount of $18,983.69. Approve the purchase of a mobile breathing air trailer system with Bauer compressors to Safe Air Systems of Randleman, North Carolina in the amount of $200,078.23. And authorize the county administrator to execute documents for this grant project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion?
Yes, sir. What all, is this used for fire training or is it used also for diving?
Scott Cronin, Coney County Emergency Services Director. This can be used for both fire training, on-scene response for fire calls, and will be certified for dive air. So long calls, whatever, wherever in the county, we no longer have to go back to the station to compress air. It will be able to go to the scene and provide everything that is needed for long-term events.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
That's 4A.
Next, we have procurement, ITB 23-14. This is road paving for 2023-2024 for the Roads and Bridges Department in the amount of $6,794,956.85 with a 10% contingency of $679,495.69 for a total award of $7,474,452.54. Procurement was approved by council in fiscal year 23-24 budget process. Budget $7,474,452.54. Project cost $7,474,452.54 with a balance of $0. Funding is from the Road Maintenance Fund and C funds. It is the staff's recommendation that Council 1 approve the award of ITB 23-14 road paving 2023-2024 to King Asphalt Incorporated of Liberty, South Carolina in the amount of $6,794,956.85 plus a 10% contingency in the amount of $679,495.69 for a total reward of $7,474,452.54 to authorize the county administrator to execute the contract documents and approve any change orders within the contingency amount.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion?
Yes, Ms. Brock, remind me, how much of this is coming from C funds?
There'll be a portion allocated from current year, and we are unsure of future allocations of C funds. We'll go and request as much as allowed to be requested. Typically, C funds is very favorable to Oconee County Road Department requests both in-house and for contract. This is a multi-year contract.
Ms. Brock,
Yes, sir.
how much was added to the budget this past year to make this come together?
So, Mr. Hart, we added an additional mill, and the anticipated value of a mill for current budget year, the actual value of a mill is $640,128. We're estimating the value of next year's mill to be $660,000. So this current year's allocation was an additional $640,000, and next year's additional allocation will be an additional $660,000.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Brock. It is 22 miles, correct,
It is correct.
ma'am? Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Next, we have council committee reports. This is Real Estate Facilities and Land Management Committee. Mr. Davis isn't here. Is this action items that needs to be taken?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, we erroneously left these off of the last council committee agenda resulting from the committee meeting. It was unanimously approved by the three-member committee. If we could just receive an affirmation to move forward with the two committee votes, that would be excellent for us. If you would prefer, obviously, Mr. Chairman, we could delay.
Do you need a motion?
I think
I
we
don't
need
wanna
one for
beg you,
each.
but that would be great.
I think we need one, do we need one for each item that's listed here? Okay, Mr. Root shook his head, yes.
Yes, then Mr. Root knows best.
Okay, so we have Real Estate Facility Land Management Committee. This was March 19th. All these items came from March 19th, 2024. Those are action item, council affirmation of committee approval to move forward with renovation plans of the Alexander Cannon Hill House as presented by Mr. Phil Shurry, PRD Director, at the March 19th, 2024 Real Estate Facilities and Land Management Committee meeting.
Make a motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
4A.
Next, we have item council affirmation of committee approval to explore the option of making the current High Falls County Park as a day-use only project and possible creation of High Falls 2 as a campground only, utilizing property offered by Duke Energy as presented by Mr. Phil Shirley, POT Director, at the March 19, 2024 Real Estate Facilities and Land Management Committee meeting.
I make a motion.
Second, any discussion?
Yes, sir. Mr. Shirley, you step up here, please.
Yes, sir.
I know that we discussed this in the committee meeting, but this High Falls number 2, have we got any preliminary plans or anything on that yet?
We did a master plan that Duke paid for back in 2017. What I'm asking for is permission to bring that back forward and start renovating that master plan, and you will be part of the process as we move through that.
Okay, good deal. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor? Now we have council affirmation of committee approval of the sale and auction listing of the Tel Smith crushing plant as presented by Mr. Tom Moxley, the rock quarry manager, at the March 19th, 24 Real Estate Facilities and Land Management Committee meeting. Some background: the Tel Smith crushing plant is directly in the path of the pit expansion towards the ore property, and as such needs to be removed within the next 12 months. The plant was decommissioned by DHEC March of 2020 and is no longer allowed to be used for production purposes. The March 19th meeting, it was recommended to move forward with the sale of the Tel Smith crushing plant and obtaining council approval. The proceeds of the sale of the Tel Smith crushing plant will be deposited to the quarry's fund balance. Staff recommends council approve the sale and listing of the Tel Smith crushing plant for sale at auction with Gov Deals Incorporated.
Make a motion.
Second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Next, we have board and commission appointments. Agricultural Advisory Board, District 4 seat, we have one questionnaire on file, but Mr. Davis is not with us. So I'm gonna move to the Conservation Bank Board. We have one at-large seat, with no questionnaires on file. Now I need a motion to enter executive session to receive legal advice and discuss litigation related to expenditure of general obligation bond funds. And 2, council discussion regarding a potential property acquisition related to emergency services.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? We need a motion to return from executive session.
Make a motion.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, no actions was taken from executive session, so do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.